And here to lift us up with some great advice about changing our way of thinking is Dr. Nicole Ferguson. Hello, doctor.
Nice to be here. And we're talking today about something you brought to our attention called core beliefs.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, core beliefs are our fundamental beliefs that we believe about ourselves, and it influences our thinking and how we interact with the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do? What do we do to ourselves, rather, that are contingent on those core beliefs? I guess where I'm going with this is, what are some examples of negative core beliefs?
So some negative core beliefs we can hold about ourselves are, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of love and respect, I have to be perfect. These are things that we'll take and we'll use that in terms of how we go about navigating the world. A core belief that I'm not good enough or I'm not deserving may look like not applying for a job when acted out because you believe you don't deserve it.
Yeah. And Dr. Nicole, that can start, and I'm speaking to myself here as well, that can start from your childhood as well, right? Like you grow up believing certain things or you experience certain things and it follows you through life, and sometimes we don't realize it, right?
So core beliefs, we aren't born with these. Someone has taught us this, or we learn through an experience that kind of reinforces that belief. And of course, no one wakes up on their 18th birthday and say, okay, all the core beliefs that I thought about myself are now gone. Like, you have to actually work to dispel those beliefs. And we also have to kind of challenge those beliefs as well.
Challenge those beliefs. That's interesting. How would you do such a thing?
Well, one of the basic premises of therapy is that we can also challenge those beliefs. Sometimes we don't even realize we have them until our actions kind of reinforce those beliefs. So even for me, one of the core beliefs that I always felt was that I had to be perfect at everything. Or I would not even try to do certain things because I felt, okay, I'm not going to be perfect at this. Why even try? And a lot of the unhealthy behaviors that we have, the beliefs that we hold about ourselves, are rooted in those core beliefs.
How do we work on having better beliefs? Like, you recognize that you have negative core beliefs. How do you get on track to working toward having positive core beliefs?
Well, the good thing is that core beliefs are learned, and everything that's learned can be unlearned. And that is the premise that we go off in therapy, in that we challenge those core beliefs. You want to question where you have those beliefs, who taught them to you. Also, what is your first memory of that core belief?
Interesting.
And how that kind of propelled you to incorporate that core belief into your psyche. And then we challenge people to incorporate beliefs that better fit their story, better fit their narrative. The fact that core beliefs are based off of your truth means that that truth can be altered, it can be changed, and you can develop more positive core beliefs that are more dominant, that you feel resonate with your truth.
Is it important, I know you don't want to dwell in the negative, but is it important to kind of go back and figure out those things, to kind of delve into where those negative core beliefs came from? I know you said it's self-exploration, looking back so that you can fix it, but is it unhealthy to spend too much time there?
Well, it's unhealthy to spend too much time in the past, but it also depends on how you're using that experience. If you're using the past to propel you and empower you to move forward, that's an important step. I feel that a lot of people don't realize that some of the core beliefs are beliefs that they've taken on by other people. And it's important to look back to see where that core belief came from so that you can incorporate a belief that feels true to you.
Yeah, I love it when you're here. And can you please just express, you are never too young and never too old to start working on these core beliefs, because some folks say, oh, I just am who I am and I am the way I am. You can always be better.
There's always what we call a growth mindset. There's always a belief that we can change, that we can grow, that I just want to empower people to know that if there's core beliefs that don't resonate you do not have to accept them, that you're always willing to grow and to change and to become a better person, a better you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nicole. I love it when she's here.
She's like our Wellness Wednesday therapy sessions. Thank you so much for being
You're
with
welcome.
us.
Yeah,
and
thank you for having
of course, something that'll also brighten your day today.
Yes.
Yes, the perfect way to sweeten it up.